was slightly concerned that he might be up to naughties, and I've been watching him for a few days.
Right.
And I was sitting at the bar, and George came in and sat beside me, as you do, and immediately champagne was put in front of him and hors d'oeuvres, and he wasn't eating them. It's like 20 quid a pop. It's like 20 quid a pop. So I asked him if I could have his hors d'oeuvres, and he said yes. And then Randy walked in, Mr. Cindy Crawford,
yes,
and said, "Isn't this a lovely bar?" And George looked at me and he said, "It's a mighty fine-looking bar."
Oh, that's something that you just keep that forever.
Forever.
You put that in a little box wrapped up with a ribbon.
Tell me about it. That's
and bring
a good
it out.
day in the office.
Oh, that is a good day in the office, but you got distracted, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You were supposed to be watching that terrible Russian.
I lost the oligarch. Suffice to say.
It's worth it. It was absolutely worth it. What's the oddest case you've had?
Oh gosh, the oddest case. I've had a few. I've had a few where people have asked me to perhaps look out for their partners. I mean, there was particularly one situation where there was this complete nutcase of a woman who sent me to look at her partner who thought he was having an affair, but he was going there every single night for a week. And when I eventually got down to speak to him, she was absolutely nuts. And I had to go back and explain that he wasn't having an affair. And so
he was just trying to get away from her?
He was trying to get away from her. And she asked for her money back at the end. And you get that quite a lot, actually.
Do you? When you don't get the result they want? They say, I'm not paying you then.
Yeah,
but Louise, you've put all of your experiences into this new book, your first book, The Last Honey Trap, it's called. There's a lot of you in this, isn't there? It's a cracking read. It's a cracking read. It's really good fun.
I didn't realise it at the time, but it wasn't until friends and family read it that they said that, yes, it is. There's a lot of me in it. And obviously, I've put in a lot of the experiences that I had over the years. I was a private investigator for 8 years.
And was most of it trying to find out, most of it is relationships. Most of it is people trying to find out whether or not their husbands or wives are cheating on them.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in hotel foyers and following people in cars. Not so good at the following people in cars. I used to lose quite a lot of people.
Yeah, well, that's a real skill. You do wonder, though, why they don't just ask one another.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just,
or marriage guidance.
I know, it's absolutely crazy. It really is. If anybody wanted to do this career, would you recommend it to them? I know you're not doing it now, but would you recommend it?
Definitely. It's actually really easy to do. I mean, literally, I went online and did a course. It cost 400 quid or something. And then you set up your own website, your own company, dust it, and you have some brilliant times, but there are a lot of times when there's absolutely nothing going on. Sure. And you're sitting outside offices and buildings, and it can get a bit boring at times. But most of the time, it is brilliant, and loads of creative fodder, obviously, for the writing.
For the book. I mean, this is something that you want to pursue now? This is the career.
Yeah, well, I've actually got a 3-book deal, so this is the first one. The Last Big Mystery is out next. So and it's all following particularly this the protagonist Florence Love, who is a private investigator who specialises in entrapment.
Right.
Yes.